Hello, everyone, and still in the spirit of the celebration, I welcome you to Unscripted today, the 26th day in December 2024. My name is Henry, if you care to know, and I'm so excited to have you today. Join me on my 2 cents, where of course I look at a very topical, trendy topic, and of course I talk about it just in 5 minutes or less, right? So today, particularly, I'll be speaking on what has gone viral on different social media platforms in Nigeria and across the country, and that is on the level of mendicancy, that is begging along at borderline. Yes. I know most of you must have seen the viral video of what I think is a big shame to Nigeria, where along the president's home or country home in Lagos, Badalon, in Ikoyi, Lagos State, Nigeria, we saw a long stretch, over 500 meters, of vulnerable Nigerians, laying there, at the wee hours of the morning, waiting to be blessed by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. To so many, it could look normal, but to people who understand PR, public relations, and the importance of, branding ourselves to the world, it's a source of shame. I feel so ashamed watching that. It's so despicable, if you would allow me to use that particular word, that the president of the country has come to his country home, and we have a long stretch of very impoverished Nigerians who were ready to spend the whole night waiting to be fed by the president, waiting to be given stipends by the president, waiting to collect palliatives that ordinarily they would have sourced for themselves. It's really a source of shame that at a time like this in the country, 2024, we are experiencing such. If you, of course, you're very inundated with so many things happening around the world, particularly what we see today in Gaza and Lebanon. What you see at Babylon is very close to what you see in Gaza. That is just what you see, where we have a long stretch of people begging. Now, for Gaza, it is permissible because they are at war against a stronger nation. So it's okay to say, all right, let's just give them, that benefit to say, okay, if not for war, they wouldn't even, be seen begging. But here we have a country where we have the leader of the most populous black nation in the world, and right there, just behind him or just by the side of his fence, we had a long stretch of people waiting to be fed. And the question is this the best way to run a country? Is this the best way to have a country where people are literally begging to survive? If not for a war-torn country, what else can we equal to the show of shame that we saw at Borderland? And that is what we keep talking about. You see, when we have an administration that runs its policy based on palliatives, based on handouts, rather than solving the remote cause of the problem, what we would keep seeing is such show of shame, where we have a leader coming to rest in his country home, and just behind the fence, we have a long stretch of people. These are people whom should have been employed in different industries. These are people whom should have been creating things for themselves. Amongst them are youths whom, of course, should have been innovating and creating different applications. But there we have them asking and requesting for what to go home with, possibly to feed themselves for the Christmas and the New Year. And we think we are a successful country. We think we are a sustainable country. We think we can grow with such with such a mentality of giving arms and giving people stipends just for them to survive? Where else would you see such a thing? Now, it is very okay, for some people who, of course, who have held a brief for the president, saying it's a normal thing. Even before he became the president of the country, we've seen, circumstances where people come and lay out in stretches and asking for something. And the question is, how good is that? Is that even a good sight to imagine? Do you know what it means for a man to go hand in cap begging? Do you know the gravity of what it takes for a man to do that? Do you know what it takes for a man to do that? It means that particular person has lost everything in his being, and he has no other choice but to look up to a master and say, just allow one drop of water right into my mouth. That is basically what it seems like. And that is what you see hundreds of people laying on that particular road, asking and begging for just one drop of water from the president's table. It's so very shameful. And I want to see a Nigeria that we would not experience such. It's not a very good thing. And remember, the world is a global village. What you see happening today in Nigeria is watched all over the world. Those people that we've met, hoping that they will come, foreign direct investment, you think they don't see all of these things happening in Nigeria? When we go all around the place here saying Nigeria is the most veritable place to come invest whatever it is you want to invest, you think those people don't watch? You think they don't see? You think they don't experience what we go through? Of course, through their proxies and all. You think they don't see some of these things? And those are the indices that are important for them to make their choices of whether Nigeria is good enough for them. Because when we have a country where the working demography can't even afford to feed themselves, you think any responsible organization that truly understands the importance of investment would love to come invest in such a country? I don't think so. Unless maybe when you get to what some of our analysts have called vulture investors, who are more rather interested in devaluing where they want to come invest. But real, true, responsible investors would not want to come into a country where a large number of people depend on begging, which of course the policies of this government has allowed us get into. It's so very unfortunate. But of course, like I would always and will often say, as a patriot, my desire and my dream, my prayer is that one day that we would be blessed with leaders whom understand the importance of putting the people first. I pray that one day we would be blessed with leaders whom do understand the importance of productivity over liability. I pray we would one day be blessed with leaders that truly do understand what you do to the least of your brother, not by giving him handout, but creating an enabling environment for him to strive, for him to succeed, for him to scale, and for him to go export. What you do to him is what you do to yourself. I've never seen any country where leaders build their country from the bottom down. I've never seen them succeed, not in any way, not in any country. Every responsible country builds its people from the bottom up and middle out, never from the top to the bottom. Yes, a country of 200 million people with so many living in poverty, a country of over 200 million people with 20 million Nigerians, 20 million of our children out of school. And still we have a government that says they would give out 100 billion naira for food program that would possibly look like the one we used to have before, where monies were siphoned into coffers of those who want to kill and maim us in this country. You think it might not go through that route? Well, let's watch and see. Let's just watch and see. Because I know too well that some of the undoings of the last food program for children of public primary schools, was that some of the vendors who even distributed the food weren't even paid. Some of those such money that was, of course, made possible for such food programs didn't even go for what they were meant for. So how are we sure that possibly this might not go through the same route? I hope it wouldn't. With the people running it, I just hope and sincerely pray that it wouldn't. But still, I still want to believe that if we have a policy, a positive policy-driven country, you won't have any need to feed children. If you have a country where the society is created, the environment is good enough for people to succeed, parents will be good enough to take care of their children. And when parents are enabled as a result of policies meant for the people and they succeed, the government will see no reason to want to do what parents can do, because no government can love a child more than the parent will do. The business of every responsible country is to build or to create those things that individuals cannot create for themselves. No matter how rich you are, you can't build a bridge for the community you live in, because, come on, it's beyond you. It is the responsibility of the government of the day to do it. It's the responsibility of the government of the day to provide water for their community. It's the responsibility of the government to provide schools for the community. While people who are well-to-do, they are just like an appendage there to support the government. But in Nigeria, it's the reverse of the case. Government will rather be comfortable feeding children and hoping that people would come and build schools for the same children. The reverse of the case. Well, like I often would say, may God bless Nigeria. May God bless us with leaders who truly do understand the true meaning of leadership. Leaders who would never desire that people will line up along their road simply because they are waiting for 5,000 or a pack of rice. We pray for leaders that would put Nigerians first. Nigerians first. Just like Donald Trump would say, America first. We hope to see that day when our leaders will say Nigeria first. Make use of Nigeria. Eat Nigeria. Consume Nigeria. Explore the facilities that we have rather than going to UK or France to do them. I hope to see that day. And as we continue to wait, may God bless Nigeria. May God bless the seat of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But most importantly, may God bless Nigeria, Nigerians. This is my 2 cents. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.